So hi guys, Aditya this side, and I'm coming to you live from Conversations on Crypto, the second edition. We have with us Mr. Joseph. Joseph is one of our community members who joined the community way back in November when we started building it. He was instrumental in getting helping us come where we are today, and in the meanwhile, he's also started a small crypto venture of his own. He basically helps you set up masternodes, and he helps you invest the money from those masternodes into crypto back again. And today we'll be talking with Joseph on what exactly are masternodes, why should you care about them, how can he help you set them up, and just to give you a small sneak preview, masternodes are something which will help you make money even while you sleep, and you don't need to trade. So this is your money working for you. So let's start. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Welcome to the conversation. And if you could just start with a little introduction about yourself, a small introduction. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm Jozef Gherman. I'm the CEO of Jsquared Invest, which is a company that we founded over here. I quit my job to do crypto full time. I started off my last job. I've worked in politics, and I also worked at a marina as a bookkeeper and a property manager. And I was, basically how I guess I will start with how I came into the space.
Yeah.
And I heard about Bitcoin, a few years ago, like everyone else. And I remember it hit $100. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I don't think I would ever pay that much for some digital currency. At the time, I didn't put it together what crypto and digital, that they were different. And so I kind of let it go, and I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't even know about the Mt. Gox thing or anything. I just went on my way. And then a year ago, or actually now it's over a year, I heard about this coin called Aetherium. I was like, wait, what? There's more than just one crypto. There's another one. So I said, okay, let me look into this Aetherium thing. Why are people into this? Why are people making this? Why is there another one? Why is there more than just Bitcoin? And looked into Aetherium, and I was like, wow, this thing is going to change the world. After I looked at Aetherium, I was so hyped on the project. I started researching Vitalik Buterin. I started, I got an Ethereum sweater, and I got an Ethereum watch. So I was very hyped on it, and I think that it is something that is going to change the world, and a lot more platforms out there will. But that's kind of how I got to where I am today. And then now I've been where I started off in your group was I was mainly a trader and a chart analyst and learning a lot from the group. And I made 10,000% return on investment this last year in 2017. I was looking for another way to make money on my investments, and I turned to Masternodes. So that's something that I did. I want to say too that no matter how I come off in this interview or when people see me, I never call myself an expert. I always call myself a learner, and I think that that's an important distinguishing factor that you should point out. Just because if you call yourself an expert, I feel like most of those people, they're going to start discarding good advice or not listening, not following to the general public because they buy the idea that they themselves are the expert. Why do I need to listen to other people when I make the agenda? I never see it that way. I always consider myself to be a learner. So I'm always open-minded and willing to take in different information, and especially ideas that challenge my own. And I think that's something that makes our company unique because I challenge all my employees to do that as well. So hope that answers.
I mean, it's very important, I understand, for when you're in a business that changes every second, every day, every hour, it's important to get that learning attitude in place because we can never be experts. We'll have to, I don't think we can ever be experts in crypto. There will be always people who are doing better stuff, and there'll be always some stuff to learn. So great. That's a lovely introduction from trading to getting so much profit to now understanding how to make more profit, how to make more sustainable profit, I would want to say, and then getting into masternodes and building a business around this concept. So, Joseph, what exactly are masternodes, and why should, what is this thing called a masternode? If you just explain in simple terms. Yeah.
Sure. So there's two main ways that mining can be done, and Masternodes relates to one of them. So most people are familiar with Bitcoin mining, and what that is called proof of work. That's the consensus algorithm by which one block gets added to the blockchain. That's done through a computational problem. And I'm not going to get too much into the weeds here, because that will take a whole nother video. But we can definitely do that if anyone has questions about the technicals. Masternodes relates to a proof of stake system, which means that blocks are confirmed onto the blockchain through people staking their weight or running masternodes. So there's a difference though between staking and masternodes. So all masternodes are proof of stake, but not all proof of stake are masternodes. So I'll explain what I mean by that. Neo, Komodo, and NAV are three examples of coins that are proof of stake, but do not utilize masternodes. So most people know if you hold on to Neo, you get about 8% gas in your Neo wallet. And if you hold on to Komodo or NAV, you get 5% ROI in the form of that coin by the end of the year as well, if you hold them in their native wallet. What makes masternodes different is it's basically doing what proof of stake does. Like, so those people staking their Neo and everything like that, you're staking your coins in a wallet, but you're also doing the work of a miner. So you're processing transactions, securing the network, doing all those wonderful things that miners do to secure proof of work networks. So a masternode, what you have to understand though, is that the word node, right? So if you're running a Bitcoin node, that means that you're running a full copy of the blockchain. So same thing with a masternode. If you're running a masternode, you're running a full copy of the blockchain. And then by running a full copy of the blockchain and then having the coins necessary to run a masternode, you are able to have the criteria to run a masternode. But it's not as simple as just masternode go. I wish it was that simple. So we've read countless guides over here in the office, and you know, some of these guides span between 25 to 30 pages. And the funny part is that a lot of these guides don't include a lot of information, or they include wrong information. And you have to go to the Discord, or you have to do different things to kind of troubleshoot and debug. We've had masternodes that have taken over a week to set up. That now we got down to like a few minutes, basically, like 30 minutes to an hour. So now we've kind of really, I wouldn't say become experts with masternodes, but remember, we're learners. But we have become very familiar that almost any problem that we run into, we are able to solve them a lot faster than when we started.
I mean, that makes sense. You keep on learning, you keep on becoming better, and you keep on doing things quickly. So yeah, I mean, if I were to, you know, summarize what you just told me in a simpler way, I think guys, what Joseph is trying to say is that just as in Bitcoin, where you needed to, you know, buy big computers to solve complex algorithms to, you know, be a miner, with respect to a masternode, what you have to do is, I think, stake some coins, and then you are defined as a person who can take decisions for the community, for the network, and you help the community and the network take decisions. For example, if I were to give you an example, let's take the case of Dash. So in case of Dash, the privacy in the transactions and the speed of the transactions is something which is done by the masternodes of Dash, not the nodes of Dash. So masternodes are people with special powers, and you get special powers if you give more money, right? And you also have returns for that money. So this is in somehow very basics what masternodes are. Am I right about this, Joseph?
Yeah, no, you're right. And on top of it, people are now using masternodes for governance structures as well.
Right.
Because they're starting to figure out that there's a problem, I guess. I haven't seen governance structures without the proof of stake system. I'm guessing people are realizing, okay, we can't let everyone kind of vote here, or the people who should really be making decisions are people who hold a tremendous amount of stake. Because think about it like this, you know, you might, if you're only holding a few coins and not enough to run a masternode, you might not like that because you want your voice heard. But you got to think about it like this. I'm holding a lot of coins as a masternode coin holder. My interest is the coin going up to the moon. You know, I have a much heavier interest in this coin going up than someone, let's just say, holding a coin or two. So I think that you actually are starting to see, like, there are coins that are offering masternodes just to allow them to govern the coin. And you see that on a Dash, I believe, you have to, in order to vote on their proposals, you have to be running a masternode. Yeah. or something
1,000
like
coins. Yeah, yeah.
that.
I
And
mean,
more and more people are doing that.
it is really simple. No, so the point is, if you want to actually, decentralize decisions, you have to give it to people who have a stake in the system. If the people don't have a stake in the system, how the hell will they take the right decisions, and what will motivate them to do it? So I think Masternodes is a brilliant piece which will help us scale up some applications of the blockchain tech, especially on the governance side. Right?
Yeah.
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 So if I were to ask you this question, Joseph, that why should a normal user, why should people like me, or why should the people in the group care about Masternodes? What would you tell them? Like, why should we even listen to this interview?
Great question.
Right.
And I get that a lot. So, I feel like, unfortunately, the way that cryptocurrency is viewed is kind of like a scratch off lottery ticket. The way that I look at crypto is that if I can make 2 to 3% every day, I'm doing amazing. Because take that to its conclusion, that's over 1,000% per year, basically. Most people don't try to do that. Most people are trying to call the next Ethereum, the next Bitcoin, the next whatever. And that's why you see it used all the time in ICO marketing to capture that market and be like, oh, you heard about Bitcoin and you missed that. Well, jump on our shitcoin. And for some reason, it'll also go up to Bitcoin prices. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. But, a lot of people treat crypto like it's a scratch off. And so like, oh man, what am I going to get this time? Is this a good product? Oh no, it's a scam. Oh, I lost all my money. So instead of trying to play the markets like that, if you're not a big market mover, you don't want to trade, you don't have the time to look at markets like in depth, like in the way that we do, where I'm looking at a chart and I'm looking at it on the hourly and I'm like, oh man, that's a good chart. Let me look at the 4 hour. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a bear trap over here. Most people aren't going to take the time to actually go through these things. So how do you make money in that market then? Because obviously you still want to make money. You still want to make it big. Passive income is the way to do that. And that's what Masternodes provide. So when you run a Masternode, let's just say Dash, for example, and I'm going to give example numbers here. You get like 0.5, not even 0.5. I would say like 0.1 Dash per day. So it's like $50 a day. Take that to its conclusion on the month. That's $1,500 per month. And then that's over $12,000 per year. I know for Dash it's over 40, so it might be actually $100 a day on Dash. But the point being is that you're actually making a daily income of $100 a day. Now you're not actually getting paid in actual dollars, you're getting paid in the coin. And then you have to sell that coin against the open market prices. So what we do for our company is that when we set up a Masternode for someone, and let's just say they're an all cash client, they don't even realize all the steps that are going in and out of this thing to get their cash, to get their Masternode set up, and then to get them cash back, which is that we have to go ahead and buy the coins for the node, run the node, get all the coins for the node, sell those coins for Bitcoin, take that Bitcoin and sell it on another exchange for US dollars, withdraw them. No one sees all that work that goes into that. But the good news is that we all I think we all need to take a step back and realize what just happened right here, which is we hit a bear market, right? Like the perfect time to talk about Masternodes, because before this, everyone was like, I'm a genius, I'm a millionaire, Lambo City, like I'm right there, I'm so close.
Right.
We all said that. And then now we all are humbled, oh man, this is what the hodlers were talking about. This is what people in Bitcoin have been talking about for years. That can just crash down on you like that. I feel bad for those people who just got in on January, but there's hope in people. And this hope is Masternodes, because the beautiful thing about it, like I said, is that whether let's just say your Masternode is making $10 a day, and then a bear market hits and now it's 50% down. Well, now you're making $5 a day, but you know what? You're making money every day.
Right.
And the guy who has no Masternodes, they're losing money every day. That's it. They got to sit tight, hold on for dear life, and hope the market comes back up. But listen, for me, I may not be making $500 anymore every day. I may only be making $200, but damn, that's $200 I didn't have before.
Right. Yeah.
So the reason you get on Masternodes, in my opinion, is to kind of hedge, especially if you're a heavy trader. You want to make sure, it shouldn't be, oh man, I better make 20% this month or else I ain't gonna pay rent. You should always be kind of secure. I use my Masternodes to secure me and to allow me to trade without basically consequence. So I can go ahead and make crazy trades, or I can move positions in a bear market and not feel hurt from it because I have income coming in every day. And I can also stack my positions in a bear market. Like I can, if I'm making $1,000 a week, I take that money, throw it back into the market, and now when the market goes back bull, I was adding my money, this whole time. So why should you care about Masternodes? Because you're getting money every day. Regardless of what it is, you're getting money every day. Now, the reason why you shouldn't get Masternodes, let me just say that really quickly. You don't get them because they're going to go to the moon. You don't get a Masternode because it's the next Dash. I don't buy that shit. You get a Masternode for passive income, and that's it. If you're expecting it to go to the moon, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. This is not made for you to make an investment for the price to go up. If it does, great, amazing. And I have had that happen.
Right.
That's how you do
it. That is very well summarized, Joseph. I think people should understand that this is like a source for the regular passive income, and it is not something which is which will take you to the Lambo City and take you to the moon, right? So I mean, there was something which Joseph said. I don't know if you caught that in between or not. So if I were to reiterate why should you care about Masternodes? The one reason would be it's passive income, and the second reason, I think he just just said it out like that. That reason is that Joseph actually takes your fiat money, does Masternode setup with them, trades it, multiplies it, gives you back, not crypto but fiat. So Joseph actually, handles the entire crypto, fiat to crypto transformation, then crypto to crypto investment, multiplying that, getting that back to fiat, and then giving it back to you. So you give Joseph fiat, you get fiat from Joseph back. And I think it is more than what you given him, because that is the why you gave it to him. So you can increase it, right? So that's what Joseph does. And Joseph, I mean, my question would be, you told us why should we care about them, because of the passive income fact. There's the fact that we could actually use our fiat to multiply our fiat only, and we don't have to actually enter crypto. You can help us do that also. What is the reason that you care about them so much? Why are you passionate about Masternodes so much? Like, what is your story with them? What's your inspiration with them?
Kind of relating back to my point before, and I really think that thank God I invested in Masternodes, because I would have gotten, my portfolio was 3 times as large as what it is today. And even though I actually did, I have a chart and I have a group, and I put it out on the chart on January 11th. I still have it from a screenshot from Quininji. And I told my group this is the bear market is coming in. And they were like, no, man, it's not coming in. Bitcoin's to the moon, And at the time, Bitcoin was 14 grand. My investments are doing very well. I was, I think, I'm not even going to give the number because I don't want to say it. But, I was doing very well. And then, even though I called it, I did not necessarily pull out my positions, because I was like, you know what? I'm running these Masternodes. Let me let them do their thing. They're running passive income for me every day. Now, at the time, at the height of the market, I was making over $1,000 a day on just Masternodes, nothing else. That's it. That's crazy, right?
$1,000
so
bloody good, man. That is really crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got my girlfriend some gifts. I got my family Christmas gifts, and now I kind of regret it. Wish I could pull that back. And just do that and just go back into the market and just pick up a few more of these, because it's about to get really cold. The winter's about to settle in.
Right.
So, but anyways, the market crunched on all of us. If you're in the market, it crunched on you. If it didn't, you're a liar. It hit. And I just been stacking up Masternodes this whole time, and I'm still making over $100 a day. I'm making like $150 a day. Like I said, they all got hit pretty hard. There's a few Masternodes I have that I can't track them on my tracking software yet, that we utilize over here. There's just one Masternode that I kind of figured the math out on it. But the point being, why am I so passionate about it, is because it literally allowed someone like me, who's staked so heavily in crypto. I have my rent, I have my car payment, I got all this other stuff. and I got this whole company I'm running, and I'm still able. I pay myself, just to let you guys know. I like up until this last week, I did not take any money from my company. I was completely unpaid. I was the only employee that was unpaid. Now I got added to the payroll. I'm making the minimum wage. I'm the lowest paid employee of my own company.
That's the pain of becoming the CEO, bro. Like, been there, done that.
Yeah,
That's what CEOs are supposed to do.
Bootstrapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta take the hits for the things that you love, and I really believe in this company. And the thing that what has allowed me to pay all my bills and take minimum wage and not claim a paycheck, it's Masternode, and that's why I'm so passionate about it for people. Now, again, you know, I'm passionate about it for people for the passive income because, I mean, back in the bull market, the numbers were exciting. I mean, you could invest $4,000, and the numbers were like, we could get you like a $70,000, you know, ROI. Like that's what it looked like. And then of course it kind of came down from there. But that was kind of a false reality anyways. You know, like most people saw it as that, like it was kind of like, you know, too good to be true. But most masternodes, so we can get masternodes out there for a few $100s or a little bit over $1,000 are making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 each a year. That kind of stuff, in my opinion, is life-changing money. I know so many people in this country, you know, that's, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. That's 10% of their whole entire income that they're gonna get and not do anything. You know, that's just mind blowing. And so that kind of made me passionate to the point where I was like, I don't want to just do this for myself. I want to do this for other people. And I also saw, you know, on Discord, there's a lot of people who talk about masternodes. People are getting scammed left and right because they trust somebody they don't know. They don't have their name. They don't have a website. They're like there's no legitimacy there. And they send them their coins and then they just log out or they block them or whatever. Like I see it every day. There's a complaint about a scammer. We have a website. My name's out there. I send my full name for the record. I'm registered with the state over here. You know, if we get up and go and don't pick up the phone tomorrow morning, you know, we're registered with the state. They know who we are. You know, like, we can't just get up and go. It's a crime, and we take it very seriously. So passionate because I don't want people to get scammed. I want people to make a passive income. I think that's and I think that with the amount of money we're able to make people within a year on small level investments, it's kind of like a miracle. I mean, like people are a little bit spoiled in that we're providing like, you know, not guaranteed, but you know, there's 300, 400, 500% ROIs, and people get upset if they were making 400% and now they're making 350. And I'm like, you know, find me something on the stock market that's paying you 30%, 40%. I'll invest in that. You know? I'm a real.
You can take my money and go. I mean, I don't want my money. You take my money and go and do it, man. Like seriously.
Listen, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I started out in the stock market, and I can tell you, there's nothing in the stock market that's making you 30% ROI, 20% ROI without you having to stay up all night reading 10Ks till you're red in the face. You know?
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
There's no one making you thousands of dollars just without you doing anything out there.
Right.
You know?
So guys, I mean, yeah, that sums up really well that why should we care about and then why should you care? Why do you care about masternodes? If you could, you know, tell us, if you could like summarize in about a line or two or in a point format, what exactly does Jsquared do? What exactly is your business? Like, how do you make your money? Like, what are your services like and what do you do? That will be really great for everybody. Yeah.
I'll make it really simple.
Yeah.
So we set up the masternodes. We charge a setup. We keep them running. We have had masternodes that run and then stop working. This could be for patches, bugs, errors, new wallet gets released, whatever. We may have to take that masternode apart, put it back together. So we take a fee on the profit. We also offer some other services that I think that we're going to get into later. But that's the main way that we power our business is through masternodes, and then we offer other services from there.
Right. So again, summarize, making it even simpler. You help us set up the tech.
Yes.
We only give you the money.
That's it. So that's it.
And because we know your face and we know your name and you have a legit website and you're not an emoji on the web, I think that's fair points to trust you on that. And you've been around in the group for a long time, so we can give that to you. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, yes, yeah, we know you've been around, and you also know Andy. So yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you on that.
Well, Goldbug won. People
Yeah,
don't know that.
Goldberg one. Yeah, yeah, Goldberg one. So Goldberg is one of the analysts I really admire, and I really share a lot of his analysts on the group. And Joseph is good friends with Goldberg one, who's also called, by the way, Andy's his real name. Right. So that's what your business is. So Joseph, could you really help us understand by taking a few case studies or examples, like what happened when you invested, what happened after that? So one or two case studies would really help the users understand the benefits of investing in Masternodes, or working with you, setting up stuff with
So
you.
I'm going to give you an example, a good example and a bad example, because I
Right.
don't want to give a rose-colored picture. I think that you deserve, people deserve the truth.
Right.
So here's a good example, which is when I got my first masternode, and I kind of lucked out. I bought a masternode called Alco. It's 4 cents a share, crypto, and it was 10,000 to run the node, making $8 a day, and cost me $400 total. So um, through this whole trial and error process, I realized that was probably one of the most ingenious decisions I ever made. The reason being is that the team is transparent. I want to make transparency a really big issue, guys. Like, a lot of people will invest in garbage coins because the ROI is so high, and they're like, "Oh my God, all I have to do is invest $1,000 in this thing while making $90 a day and $50,000 a year." It's like by the day 3, the devs left and the coin's worthless. We're trying to avoid that. So I made an excellent decision with Alco, unknowingly, but because the team was actually transparent and people stuck their name to their crypto, kind of like I'm sticking my name on this company. I'm putting my face and my name out there, like people know who I am. Like if I disappear, people know what I look like.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a very valuable thing. So now Alco's worth $1 a pop. So I bought this thing for $400. It's now worth $10,000.
Right.
At the time, it was making $8. Now it's making. It says on Masternodes online that's only making $25, but I'm making about $37 a day. So I'm not sure why the numbers are different.
Right.
Not a big deal to me because I know what I'm making. I see the numbers. But yeah,
That's
so
about $1,000 a day. $37 a day is about $1,000 a month.
yes.
That
So
is that is literally more than about 70% of what India earns in a month, man. I mean, 70 to 80% of our country earns less than that. That is good money. That is really good money, man. Really amazing.
that's I hope that gets better. I hope that number
Yeah.
gets, and I
Yeah.
hope doing something like this does help. I hope that this explodes in India. I hope that this really takes over and helps people make a passive income over there.
Right.
Definitely necessary. But so the crazy thing is that it's $1,000. I paid $400 for the whole thing. It's already
Right.
paying itself off 2 times over every single month I've had this thing. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Right.
So I lucked out, but the takeaway over there is that I believe in investing in coins with good teams, and if they're not good teams, then I believe in investing into them to a certain point. So I'm going to get into that with my bad example.
Right.
My bad example is this. At the height of the bull market, you could not find a masternode that was generating like over 100, 200% ROI for under $3,500.
Right.
And so I got this question all the time because I had people who had money, want to give it to me. They saw all these other people making crazy money. Like I had one guy make $10,000 in a month. Like it was crazy. It was like
Right.
insane. And I was like, okay, I'll do my research. And then all of a sudden this coin popped out of the woodwork called Mouse. At the time, Mouse was making like 500, 600% return on investment. It was $3,500. Again, you couldn't find anything lower that was doing better. And so I threw it out there. I said, hey guys, you want something cheap? And here's a cheap coin. I don't know too much about it. Like this is what it is. So now if you look at Mouse on the internet, it's $50, $60 for the entire node. So it went from, like just completely fell.
Right.
Really unfortunate. And the devs left. I was on the Discord every day. You know how active I can be. I was on the Discord every day, trying to communicate with the developer, trying to get them on the right track, trying to get a roadmap out, like everything. And I realized these guys are just scammers. And unfortunately, they got into a scammer coin. Because if you know how to fork Dash, it doesn't, just because you can fork code doesn't mean you're a good guy. Doesn't mean you're, a lot of people will trust people who make a coin, but that doesn't mean I know 14-year-olds that can make cryptocurrencies. It doesn't make them trustworthy. It doesn't mean they're not going to scam you. Like, that's not how the world works. And unfortunately, some of our people had to learn the hard way. So now we really stepped in and help people make better decisions. And we're not like, if people are like, oh man, I want the cheapest thing with the highest return, we're going to take back steps, and we're going to let these people know, like here, I put out a whole Medium article about kind of this stuff, but we let people know, here are the risks, here's the things to look for, these are positive signs, these are negative signs. We put a whole grading sheet together, actually shared by Crypto Mucho, who's he's got like over 90,000 followers on the internet.
Yeah, even I follow him on Twitter, Crypto.
Yeah.
If you have the grading sheet, would you want to share it with the users if possible? That would be great.
I'll send you the link. And we also offer it on our website too, which is, I never said that, but it's jsquared.io.
Right. Jsquared.io, guys, like remember this, and I'll also be putting it up on the post when I put it up, because I don't know how many people will be watching this particular segment, but jsquared.io goes on the top. Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, that's just kind of like the bad example. And so I think that what happens though, and where people have a bad time with Masternodes, is that they invest. And I spoke, like, one more quick example. I spoke with a doctor in Texas, and he told me, first of all, he paid, we charge a $750 setup for Masternodes. He paid $3,500 per setup. $7,000 he paid for 2 Masternodes, where that would have cost him like $1,500 with us. It was, I got robbed. And he paid for 2 Masternodes, Bitcoin Lightning, Bitcoin Green, which have nothing to do with Bitcoin. He thought they had to do with Bitcoin. They were making like thousands of dollars a day. They were both worth like 25, 22K each. So probably spent $50,000. They're now worth $8,000 each, $6,000. They're worth $14,000. They dropped tremendously. And I think that a major problem with these Masternode coins, some of them, is the anonymous teams. If you don't have anyone willing to stake their reputation on a coin, they're not your money. But then people get fooled with a high ROI. So what I would say is, we can still make you a high ROI without risking an insane amount of capital. And something I worked on, and again, I'll share this with you, is I worked on portfolios of $1,000, $1,500, and $2,500 that will actually make you, even if like catastrophe hits, which I consider to be a 70% decrease in price, you will still make your setup and your principal back and profit. And that's the important thing, is to get those 3 things done within a year. And if you can do that, then it's all house money from there.
Right. It's all building on your profits from that point.
So we believe, and we set this as a company policy after this whole mouse thing happened, that and this is what we recommend to our clients. If the coin is anonymous and you do not know who the team is, we recommend no more than $1,000 to get the Masternode. If it costs over $1,000, be patient, because I've seen Masternodes that are worth 25,000 that are under 1,000. It's just a matter of time, because those guys are not the best guys. Now, I can still, I make a lot of money on those coins, but I only make them when I buy them at $200-$300, and they're making me $10 a day. And now I bought them for $300, it's making me $300 a month.
Right. That is 1:1. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So that really gave us an insight into what kind of masternodes are there, how cheap can you get them, how expensive they can get, what you can make out of them. So that was really good, summing up of the case studies. So the last question, or the final question would be: you guys just do masternodes, or you guys do more services also? So what is the story? Is it Jsquared equal to masternodes, or there's something other than that? Yeah.
So we actually have multiple services. So we also venture into proof of work mining and into investing. So what we try to do is get our clients set up with a high return on investment through Masternodes. And then we want you to pull as little out of your pocket as possible. We want to basically make you cash generators with these Masternodes. And then we are offering a reinvestment service. So what does this reinvestment service mean? This means that you can take a portion of your funds, anywhere from 10% to 100%, and reinvest into a crypto portfolio. So who's making a crypto portfolio? Myself and my chief investment officer and my trade and research specialist. So we are 3 individuals that in 2017, we all made over 10,000% return on investment. And to give your audience some kind of visual with that, a 10,000% return on investment means for every $1,000 we had, that turned into $100,000.
Right, right. Could you just show us your office if it's possible? We could see your team and all.
My other guy, Rich, is over here.
What's up, Rich? Say hi to the audience. Yeah, Rich is there. Rich is the chief investment officer, I guess.
Yes, that's our CIO. Just to let people know, it's 11:30 p.m. over here.
Right. So it's 9 a.m. in India, guys. So so it's 11:30 p.m. there.
The whole team is not here. Just to let you know, we're not making this.
Yeah. I mean, we completely understand. Right.
It's all good. I love it. You're in a future. I'm not even on your day.
So we're talking on 4th of March and 5th of March. Yeah, that's how that's how the world is.
So we all made 10% return on investment. We craft a portfolio every month of 10 coins. We look at that. We look at fundamental and a technical analysis, and then we invest your portfolio based on percentage points. The next month, we do the same amount of research on 10 new coins. We take that, compare it to the old list, see what we like, see what we don't like. And then if we want to adopt more coins into our current list, we will go ahead and do that. If we want to divest from the current list because the team didn't make a promise or whatever it might be, we do all that. So we're hoping to make people even more money on their money. And I can tell you, before we started off doing Masternodes, we did start off as an investment fund. But we had to pull back the business model and change it a bit, tweak it a bit, and then bring it back. We are managing about $20,000. And within 2 months, we made it into over 200,000. So just to give people an idea of our results, we had gotten investments in December, and we were on pace. We had an annualized return of over 2,000% return on investment. Now, if you're wondering why are these people making 2,000%, we're making 10,000, well, there's a big reason for that. Is that the way that I make my money and the way that we make decisions sometimes is not going to correlate with how we make decisions for the client. If I'm making decisions for you and you're trusting me with your money, I'm taking that better than my own money. And so that means I'm not going to take as many risks. That means if I hear a rumor or if I see something crazy, I'm not just going to throw your money at it, because then if you lose it, I got to have a very awkward call. Oh, why'd you do that? Well, on Twitter, I read that was going to, oh, you're going to love that, right? Oh, you invested my money on a Twitter comment? That's not good practice. So the only reason why I'm able to make so much is because I can sometimes decipher information quickly enough to make a decision quick enough for myself. And then also you understand that we lock up client money tight. We're trying to make sure that's not getting stolen, it's not getting hacked, nothing's going to happen to it. So my money, I can do whatever the hell I want with my money. I could have it no 2FA if I wanted, but I do have 2FA on everything. But with client money, we have that locked down in basically, VPN, whitelisted IPs, all that kind of stuff to make sure that nobody, even if somehow, some way, there was some kind of a leak on the network, you would not be able to take anything unless you were physically here and meet, you know?
Okay. Right.
The other service, just really quickly, is that we are going to be offering Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin mining. So that will be coming. We're hoping to have that running in the summer. And we're buy 100 miners, and then we're going to go ahead and sell them off to the public. You can buy hashing power. It's going to work in a much better way than mining. And I'm going to make a Medium post on that when we get closer to that point. But basically, there'll be a lot more flexibility and a lot more profitability for our clients.
That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds really good. Okay, so I would want to end the discussion, but before we do that, I just want you, if you could, in a point format or in a summary format, just help the users know what kind of steps do you take to ensure that their money is safe. So in a way, we're entrusting our money to you. So if you could just summarize some key points that what you guys, keep in mind when you are taking care of the money, so that people trust you with that. That will be really helpful.
So, just to let people know, we I'm trying to figure out how the way we can say without kind of exposing any security flaws over here. But we operate and own our own servers that we put into a data center. Right now, the data center is pretty much the only third-party user that we utilize. In the future, if hopefully we scale up and become big enough, we'll be buying our own and making our own data center just for the company. On top of that, we utilize VPNs. We utilize our own network. So even in this office building that we're in right now, no one's on the same network as us. We have our own individual network because you never know who's working with you. You never know who's on that public Wi-Fi with you. We also use, like I said, whitelist IPs. We have our stuff very secured into a building. Like we made sure that this building was top spec security. Most people don't even know where we are. We don't list our address anywhere. What else do we do?
You do the normal 2FA and all that basic security cases and things.
Yeah, those are the basics. So,
right.
I mean, 2FA, most people don't need to worry about because 2FA really relates to the exchanges, which we have 2FA on all exchanges. But as far as like once your coin is running on a wallet, there's no real way to 2FA it. The only really way to 2FA a wallet is to encrypt it, which we do encryptions. We run those encryptions locally. What that means is basically some people will use like a password generator online, but if you make something online, there's always a trace. And so now someone could theoretically, if they, are able to access your network, go through your history, and then pull up that password that you generated, and then utilize that to hack your own masternode or something like that. It's a very complex hack, but it is something that's possible. So we go ahead and we generate all of our passwords locally. Very random digit. We try to do like 50, 60 character digits, so very hard to hack with brute force.
Right.
I forgot there was something else. It's getting late over here. I'm kind of getting tired, but no, we take a lot of different security measures over here. We ever since we went professionally, because we had some things happen when like it was just a few people doing it or whatever. You're just getting our feet wet, and we started to realize, oh man, there's a vulnerability here and there's a vulnerability there. We started realizing that we had to tighten up our stuff. So a lot of people don't even know this about let's just say on Linux. If you ever use Linux, most people don't disable the root user. I don't want to get to I
completely understand, but yeah,
the root user, and most people don't put the pseudo user, like make another username or whatever, and so like they allow themselves to get pretty much like, if you have a root at your IP address, you're 50% vulnerable to a hack.
Right.
It's like a root login is like everyone knows your username. Imagine everyone logged in with root at gmail.com, and then you put in your password. Well, that just means that all the person has to do is put in the right password, and they get on your account.
And they get on the computer.
We have our own, again, that's another thing that we disable and that we take care of for every single account. We also write down, in case of an emergency, something happens, an error occurs, and all the information is deleted and erased off our systems. We have backup private keys that are stored in bank vaults to ensure that we can always get to the money. Like there's never a situation where we should not be able to reach it if something, if someone tries to infiltrate our network and is successful, and then they get all pissed because they can't take our money and they just try to wipe it all or something like that, which we also have backup servers again to you know, no matter what, the whole point is to have a fail safe. But with the fail safe means that also is vulnerable. So there's so many different ways that we take. I mean, we got passwords, you know, buried under houses, you know, like crazy.
Yeah, I can totally understand the Pablos you must have had to get in touch with to store the passwords, dig the gardens, and store the money there.
Crypto is such a rabbit hole that like once you start going down, it's endless, you know. There's nothing you can't do. I mean, shit. One day we'll probably send out a satellite that will go into space, and if something gets hacked, we'll have to call it back down or something.
Come down, yeah.
But before we end this interview, I did want to say, you know, kind of as a special arrangement and something like to thank the group, because I do love the group and I think I learned a lot from it. I think it helped me grow into where I am today. I did want to offer, so like I said in the beginning, we do offer, we have a $750 setup fee. Right. We are going to be, as a result after this video, for the next 48 hours after you put this up, we will be waiving the entire setup fee.
Wow, so that is super awesome. That is super awesome.
We'll be doing that for anyone's first Masternode,
right?
To get them in the game.
That is so awesome, Joseph. That is so awesome. I really love that. Yeah.
So now, like, the only thing we would get paid from is just out of the profit, and so, like, you're basically the only cost that you as a consumer would be paying would be the cost you were going to pay anyways, which is the coin on the Masternode.
Right. That's it. So thank you, Joseph. That was, guys, Joseph for you. And we had a really good discussion about masternodes, what is their value in our life and in your life, and why should we be serious about them? Why should we take them as an investment opportunity? How can they generate passive income for us? And how can Joseph and his team sitting there in East Coast, US, help us do that really well, right? So thank you so much, Joseph. Thanks a lot for spending this time with us. And I hope we can get some good clients for you. And the offer is pretty great. I mean, you're getting $750, the entire settlement fee is off. So guys, if you're interested, I would recommend talk to Joseph. Any deeper points you have, you can, you know, message him up. He's on the group. He's completely accessible. You know his face. You've seen his team. So that is that. And thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Good night, Joseph. Have a great night.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you. Have a great
one. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you.